Hello everyone, my name is Debashish Roy. I'm the head of training and development at the Indian Cybersecurity Solutions, and today I welcome you all to this special webinar. And today's topic is a very important one. There is a securing S3 buckets. Means we have a simple storage service as a S3 storage in the AWS in the cloud. Now in the cloud security, how to secure the S3 bucket? And what are the best practices and also misconfigurations means people often make the S3 bucket but they forget to make it secure. So it is a very important part in cloud security to make your resources secure, because after all you are going to have some resources inside that buckets, right? Like you are going to save a website, a web page or something else, and anybody could hack it. So how to make it a secure place? Let's start. So we'll be discussing how to secure Amazon S3 buckets, and we'll be highlighting best practices and common misconfigurations for this. Now, what is a S3 bucket? Amazon S3, that is a simple storage service. That is why 3S. S3 means simple storage service. It offers scalable object storage that is integral to cloud computing, and it is utilized across various industries for secure, cost-effective data storage, backup, and big data analytics or Hadoop operation. Means that S3 is a removable storage, or you can say that it is not attached to the EC2 instance in a way like the EBS or elastic block storage is attached. EBS instance is attached to the EC2 instance totally. So you can actually access the EBS storage by accessing to the EC2 instance, not separately. But S3 can be accessed remotely via the web browser. So that is the difference. Now, what is the importance of S3 bucket security? It prevents unauthorized access. See, if you haven't made any secure access to S3, if it's open to everybody, then what will happen? The happen is that securing S3 bucket is critical for preventing unauthorized access to sensitive information, because anybody could hack into your S3 bucket and anybody could steal your data because it's stored in the cloud. Without proper security measures, data can be exposed to malicious actors, leading to severe consequences. Because, say, for example, you have storing a website that I was talking about, and the website is dealing with crores of money, and somebody is stealing the credit card information from that. Now, what will happen? Definitely, your business will be totally destroyed. Reduces risk of data breaches. That is the second part. Data breaches that I was talking about can result in significant legal and financial repercussions, especially for organizations that fail to comply with industry regulation. So, by securing the S3 bucket, organization can mitigate the risk of breaches and ensure the adherence. So, you have to maintain these security postures in order to eliminate the risk of the data breach. Maintains data integrity and availability also. Maintaining the integrity and availability of data is crucial for business operations. Now, you have to secure the S3 buckets and you have to help ensure the data remains intact and accessible to authorized users, preventing any disruption in service and loss of important information. Now, what are the common misconfigurations that you have to be very careful of? First of all, improper public access settings. Now, I will take you to the S3 console, the AWS console in a moment. You will see that there is a block public access or something like that that is already there. So, if you do not check that, so what will happen? Improper public access setting will happen. Anybody could access your S3 bucket. It will be like the anonymous access. You must not do that. Missing bucket versioning. Yes, the bucket versioning is by default not enabled, but there is a provision to enable it. Like versioning means you are say saving or updating the same file again and again, and you are storing it in the bucket. So you must enable the versioning. Otherwise, you will lose the way the file is saved. You lose the data. You lose the history. Overlay permissive policies. So definitely the policies should not be permissive, and there should be some restrictive policies. You have to give the policy and the permissions that is absolutely necessary, not others. Unrestricted bucket access should not be there. Now, what are the best practices for securing the S3 buckets? First of all, enable the bucket versioning. Enabling bucket versioning allows you to preserve, retrieve, and restore every version of every object stored in a bucket. Say, for example, you are modifying the file again and again, and you haven't enabled the versioning. So you will lose the every version. Like the if you want the old version, you cannot get it because you haven't enabled the versioning. So it will protect against accidental deletion or overwrites that I was talking about. Use least privilege access policies. Implementing least privilege access policies ensures that users and applications have the minimum permission, like they need the read access and you have given them modify or the full control. That shouldn't be the case to perform their task. Significantly, it reduces the risk of unauthorized access. Then regularly review bucket permissions. Regularly reviewing the bucket permissions helps identify and rectify any unnecessary access rights, ensuring that only authorized users can access sensitive data. The unauthorized user should not be able to access the data. Like you have to implement the access control. Effective access control is essential for safeguarding S3 buckets against unauthorized access and potential data breaches. Define user roles and permissions. So first of all, what you need to do, establish clear user roles to ensure that access is granted based on the principle of least privilege. Second, use IAM policies. Again, that is identity and access management for granular access control. Create detailed IAM policies to specify which actions users can perform on S3 buckets, limiting exposure to critical operations. And implement MFA, multi-factor authentication for sensitive operations. You require multi-factor authentication for critical actions and adding an additional layer of security against the unauthorized access. Now, encryption options for S3 bucket. What are the options? Server-side encryption, SSE. Server-side encryption automatically encrypts data stored in S3 at rest, and this process is managed by AWS and provides a convenient way to ensure that sensitive data is protected without the user intervention. Another is the client-side encryption or the CSE that requires users to encrypt their data before uploading it to S3. So you are using a CSE. So what will happen? You will encrypt it and then you will upload. This method gives users full control over the encryption process and keys, and it makes it suitable for those with specific compliance requirements. Then monitoring and logging activities should be there. You have to implement effective monitoring and logging that is essential for maintaining the security and integrity of S3. Enable S3 server access logging, records detailed information about requests made to the S3 bucket, and it helps to track access patterns. Whoever have accessed it, you have to track it. Then utilize AWS CloudTrail logs for API call logging, enables tracking of API calls made on the S3 bucket, providing a comprehensive audit trail, and set up alerts for unusual access patterns. You have to monitor for unexpected behavior and alerts administrators to potential security incidents. So this is about the comprehensive study of the S3. And for the case studies of misconfigurations, you have this 2017, like Axelian experienced a significant data breach when sensitive files were exposed due to a public S3 bucket configuration leading to unauthorized access. And in 2019, Capital One, that is another company, suffered a massive data leak affecting over 100 million customers attributed to misconfigured firewall settings on an S3 bucket that allowed unauthorized access. So you may understand what the impact may be of a security data breach. So this S3 bucket should be definitely very much secure. So that is the theoretical discussion that we have on S3. And now I would like to take you to the AWS console. This is the AWS console, and you can see S3 here. Click on general purpose buckets and create bucket. Bucket name, say give, I'm just showing you the options what to do it here. This is 1 2 3 4 any other thing. Here the SS are disabled, but you have to enable, otherwise you cannot set the permission. Now block all public access definitely should be there if you are, say, creating any bucket and you do not want to give any anonymous access, otherwise uncheck it, because otherwise you will not be able to keep any data and you cannot access it. Acknowledge and also enable the bucket versioning. because if you disable the bucket versioning, definitely you cannot retrieve the data later. Encryption is by default server side, and also the client encryption should be there, but here's the server side is only there, and you have to create bucket. And there you go, and you have this bucket, and you can upload the documents straight away here, and any data. Upload here, and the upload succeeded, and go back. You can see the versions here. You can see this versioning is there already. You can click on this show version. You can see the version ID coming. So everything that I have shown you, you can see here. So that is about the S3 bucket, and also you can go to the you can do one thing, copy URL, paste it, and it will have an access error. Why? You have to check this file, and also you have to go to action, make public using ACL, make public, and there you go. Yes, you have the file. So that is how you just browse the S3. So that is the S3 bucket configuration that I've shown you. That is a very much important part for your AWS Solution Architect Associate. It is a small thing, but it's a very important thing, and it is also very important for your exam. And also a contest is going on where you have 10 questions and you can give, say, at least 8 answers correctly, then you are eligible for certificate. So S3 is a small storage, so there is not much to talk about S3 and its misconfigurations, but it is very important for AWS cloud security, as you know, because EBS is larger, but S3, though it is small, but it's very important as a, say, the storage that can be accessed remotely. So I have told you the theory part, and also I've shown you the configuration there, how to make an S3 bucket, how to upload the files in the S3 bucket, how to enable the versioning. So this is the way we can use the S3 bucket. And like in the Azure, you have the blob storage. In the AWS, you have this S3. So it is a small storage, and the topic is also not very big. But here it is also an important topic because you can at least store your web pages there. So you can access the S3 bucket, and you can actually retrieve the web pages there. So you definitely have to make sure that S3 bucket is secure. So as I was telling you, it is very important topic for your AWS Solution Architect examination, and those of you who are going to give the examination and to clear the certification, and also you can implement it in your enterprise network. So to do all these things, this S3 bucket, learning this S3 bucket, how to create the S3 bucket and the misconfigurations, and how to secure, how to eliminate the misconfiguration, everything you have to secure. So once again, I would like to remember you that there is a contest going on that I was telling you, that there is some questionnaire that is having the 10 questions, and if you can give 8 answers correctly of that questionnaire, and that is a very simple questionnaire we have, so you can get a certificate on that. So definitely everybody should attempt this right now. So this is all I have for you about the securing S3 bucket. What is S3 bucket? Why we make the S3 bucket? What is the importance of this S3 bucket in the AWS the cloud security? What are the best practices? How to make the S3 buckets? Everything I have told you theoretically, and also I've shown you practically by accessing the S3 bucket and its contents and its versions. So I thank you all for watching this and joining this webinar once again. I hope it was very informative for you, and it will help you in your future studies and your enterprise network as a cloud security engineer also. Because security is paramount to the cloud, anything, AWS, Azure, whatever cloud you have or you use, security is paramount to it. So that is about the securing S3 buckets, best practices and misconfigurations for now from me. I will come with some new topic next time. Till then, keep studying and bye.